Yes, boys and girls, I hope we're all doing very well today, whenever you're watching this evening, the morning, whatever it is. Hope you're doing well. Hope your businesses are going well. Hope life is good. Today, I'm going to talk about my business, the fact we've been going for 2.5 years, and the fact it took me about 2 years to start paying myself and sort of making a profit that I actually realised, right, that I actually started paying myself and getting some of the kickbacks of doing well in business. 3 things I learned, and then 3 things I want to learn and sort of move past and start learning as the journey goes on, because this journey is not over and there's still a lot to learn. So let's get into it. The 3 things I've learned so far in this journey of business. I also understand that I know nothing. Please understand that going into this. I'm 23 now. I know nothing. I'm still a kid. I'm still learning. I'm still, I don't want this video to come across as patronising. I know a lot of you are older than me. Yeah, if you don't want to take advice from a 23-year-old, I totally get it. But this is just my experience. I'm learning, telling you what I've learned so far. Take it with a pinch of salt. If you're new around here, I do a reselling business. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. I buy things secondhand and sell them on eBay for a profit. And yeah, how I got started in that business was drop shipping. I'm sure you've all heard of it. It's basically where you buy something you post something on, say, eBay that's already online, say on Amazon, and then when it sells on eBay, you order it on Amazon to that person's address. So you actually never touch the product. It just goes straight to the other person and you take a little bit of the cut of the money. I started off doing that. It was going okay. I was doing like maybe £1 or £2 a profit per sale, maybe doing a sale every other day, just getting started. And then slowly realised that was not a good method for me to do. So I slowly started selling stuff that I picked up at a car boot sale. Only cheap things like mugs and toys and that sort of thing. Didn't really know what I was doing, just guessing, completely guessing what I was doing. Selling it out of my parents' garage to start with. And yeah, it was good fun. I enjoyed it. I did it more of a hobby, trying to earn a little bit of money, trying to save, trying to invest, that sort of thing. And yeah, it was good. It was good fun. I didn't earn a massive amount. I think the most I ever earned was maybe 300 quid in a month, which, to be honest, just doing it a little bit here and there, that was pretty decent considering I didn't know what I was doing. And then eventually I sort of decided I hated my job and wanted to leave that and thought, fuck it, let's just give this eBay thing a go. So I quit my job and then slowly realised within about a month, I ran out of room in this garage. In hindsight, I really hadn't. It was just bad organisement. I didn't have any like boxes or anything. Everything was just scattered on shelves. And yeah, if I think back now, I really could have made more space in that garage by disorganising things. But yeah, I moved into my first ever unit, which was a shop in a place called Barnstable, Newport. What's it called? Barnstable's the town, Newport Road was the street. I'll pop it up on screen what that shop looked like. I'm very proud of that first shop. It was really cool. It was on like a quiet street. It was a busy street with cars, but quiet footfall. Schoolboy era. But we got a lot of space at the back, which is why we took that unit on. And let's tell you that story just to tell you the first ever lesson, which learn the game you are playing before you make big jumps. Because for me, that could have killed me. And within a couple months, I think within 4 months, I was sort of on the phone to my mum saying, I don't know what to do. I might go back to work. I might try and find another job. Just because, like I say, I didn't know what I was doing. I was completely guessing, completely making up as I was going along. And it was super dangerous for me to take that on. The lease was £500 a month, which is, when you don't know what you're doing, and prior to that, I'd only made £300 in a month, part-time, but I was like, shit, I don't really know where this is going. I'm not really making any money. I spent all my savings on stock that wasn't really selling well. I was kind of panicking. I'd bought in bulk. I'd messed a lot of things up and I was just in a bad headspace. And that really could have sank me right there. But if I just took the time, learned what I was actually doing, took a bit of time to think, okay, what actually sells? Where can I actually source that to? How can I actually get that on a regular basis? It would have made me in a lot better situation, and yeah, it would have helped me a lot. So learn the game you're playing before you start playing it, basically. It's just the best bit of advice for anything. Say you're starting a new business, it doesn't have to be reselling. Say you're starting a pressure washer business. Learn everything about pressure washing. Learn how to use the tools. Learn how to get clients. Learn how to, maintain that client relationship. Everything. Learn how to use learn all the things before you take it on full time, because it's so important that you feel confident and know what you're doing before you do it, because otherwise you're going to end up in a bad situation like what happened to me, where it might just put you back to step one when it didn't have to. You could have just waited a few more months and you would have been all right. That brings us on to lesson number 2, which is one of the more important ones. It is learn yourself before you jump into being self-employed. Because for me, there is a big difference between being a hard worker, being employed, and then being self-employed. I was a hard worker where I was working. I was working at a place called Travis Perkins. Hard days, bad weather, outside in the yard selling like things like cement and wood, heavy lifting. I was a hard worker. I worked really hard, 7:30 till 5, 5 days a week, and a weekend, Saturday till 12. It was hard days. It was hard. I was up early. I went to the gym before that I got to work. I worked hard. I was a hard worker. I was known as a hard worker there. We all were. That's just the sort of culture and that sort of place. But just be aware, if you are thinking, I'm a hard worker, I can do self-employed, just know it is a lot different than working with people, with a manager. It is a lot different. I really struggled when I come out of it, because obviously when you're employed, you have a manager that says, right, that needs doing, go and do that. This needs doing. Your lunch is there. Your lunch is at 12. You can't take lunch till 12. You finish at 5. All these things, like that regiment of having the fear of a boss saying, right, why is this not done, isn't there when you're not when you are self-employed. That isn't there. You have the freedom. Like right now, it's currently Wednesday. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I could go home right now and I could put my feet up and I can watch Netflix, and nobody's going to tell me off. Everybody's going to say, oh, good on you. You need a break. Good on you. But no one's going to tell me off. But if I did that working where I used to work, I'd get the sack. You can't, that's the pitfall of having the freedom, is sometimes, especially the way my brain works, I'm better off not having that freedom, because it's really hard to keep yourself on track and keep yourself focused. So that's the tip. Learn yourself before you go in self-employed. Everyone's got triggers. Everyone's got like things where they fall back into those bad habits of not getting on with the work. You've got triggers that will help you get on with the work. So for me, getting a schedule every day where I know what I'm doing at each time, getting the hard jobs done first, things like that really helps me sort of stay on task, get on with my work, and then it gives me time then to chill and watch a YouTube video with a coffee, instead of doing that first and then feel guilty about it and having to catch up all day because you've been distracted on YouTube Shorts. YouTube Shorts is a killer. I've deleted TikTok and I've deleted Instagram, which is helping, and Facebook, which is helping massively. They're no longer on my phone, which is helping massively to not get in the scrolling. When you get on the TikTok videos and you just scroll and you're like, you can just feel your brain exploding with just dopamine because you just scroll. You can be on there for hours. I've deleted all of that. That is a massive help. So do that if you haven't already, because that will help massively. But yeah, just learn yourself before you go self-employed. Learn what your triggers are. And yeah, it is tricky. Just be aware that if you have distractions around and you are self-employed, you will be distracted more easily than if you're at work. Number 3 is consistency is absolutely everything. I've learned this over the last sort of year. I would say, yeah, probably the last 10 months has been the biggest example of consistency matters in my whole life. I've realised this in my fitness journey. I'll pop up on screen. I've lost about 15 kilos over the last sort of 18 months. And I'll admit, Christmas was heavy on me. I put a bit more back on since that after the photo, but I'm still, about 12 kilos down, which I'm very proud of. That's about 2 stone. For those of you who don't know the kilos, that's about 2 stone in weight. Very proud of that. And my business has pretty much tripled since the start of 2024. So doing really well. And that I put that down to consistency. It's not about doing one, because what I used to do was do nothing and then have one big effort and go, right, today I feel really motivated, let's go and chuck everything at it, let's do all the work all at once. That's not how life works. You really need to just do a little bit every day. It'll beat up big effort every time. And the only way you can do that is with self-discipline, which is a muscle. Self-discipline is a muscle that you need to train like any other. Now, if you want to get really strong at the gym, you go in every day and you do your weights. You don't go in one day on a Monday and go, I'm really motivated, let's do all the weights today. No, you go, let me do it 3 times a week. I'll do a bit every day and then I'll be strong within a month. That's the same in business. That's the same in any discipline. You've got to just make yourself do it. Get your listings up. If it's eBay, if you're in that pressure washer business, make sure you're at the clients early, every day, and over time that compounds, and all of a sudden you've got this great business that's running really well and you're growing as a person. One story that really sums the old me up was I was at the gym. I'd just been to work. I was just at the other shop working all day, just sat there not doing a lot. And I was feeling a bit guilty and I knew I was going to the gym in the evening. So I went to the gym. I was doing my weights, whatever. I was messing around in the gym. And it hit me that like, shit, you didn't do any work today. You got barely anything done. I think all I'd done was ship my parcels. That's all I'd done that day. And I just felt really guilty about it. I was like, oh, what am I doing? So I got my headphones on, I got really hyped up, and I put this motivational speech on, and I put these motivational songs on that I used to get like G'd up to, and I went and did loads of listings until like 12 o'clock at night. And the only time I'd ever get any work done was if it became a thing then. Every time I needed to get work done, it was put the headphones on, get really G'd up, get like motivational speech on, which is so ridiculous because you shouldn't need to do that to list on eBay. Realistically, why do you need to be listening to Eminem listing on eBay? Like, we're not running marathons here, we're just listing a t-shirt on eBay. Just chill out and just list the t-shirt and just stop being a whiny little, you know, what about it. Just, yeah, I needed stimulating to get anything done back then, which just comes with time, you know, growth, and eventually you just start learning how to get yourself to do things without needing all this stimulation and a Monster Energy and a coffee, and eventually it just becomes like, right, you just need doing, so you rather do it now or you sit there and then you have to rush later. So you do get better at it. I'm still not great at it. Some days I'm better than others, some days I'm a lot worse than others, and I can't be asked. But again, it does get better, and I haven't missed a day in a long time. So yeah, happy days. Consistency is key. A little bonus one here that I want to add in, it's not one of the 3, but it is a little bonus one for you guys. It is keep the main thing. So when I was back at the old shop about a year ago, and even when I first moved down to this shop, I was trying to do too many things. I was trying to do eBay, I was trying to do YouTube, I was trying to run the shop, I was trying to do TikTok, I was trying to find another side hustle I could do on the side, I was trying to cut grass. What the hell was I playing at? Keep the main thing. If your main thing is one business and you want to focus on that and you think that's enough to get you to your financial goals, keep that the main thing. Stop trying to go from thing to thing and maybe it's better if I do this, or maybe this is a better opportunity, or maybe this. No, if you're happy and you think, right, eBay is my thing, I'm going to stick with eBay, and I know with eBay I can make X amount a month at the moment, and I know that can go all the way up to this amount, and that's enough for me, and I know that's it, take me to where I need to be. Stick with it, really stick with it, really learn it, really dive into it, and you'll get there a lot quicker than trying to jump from thing to thing to thing. Because, you know, I was just trying to do the shortest route to money I could, and in the end I wasn't earning any money because I was doing quarter of a job on eBay, quarter of a job on YouTube, quarter of a job on TikTok, whatever it was. I was just doing little bits and it wasn't getting anywhere. It needs a full effort on everything, and at the moment now all I do is eBay and YouTube. That's all I really focus on. The shop does get a bit of focus, but again, that's dropped off because I want to focus on the eBay and getting these videos out, because you can't do it all. That's basically the long short of it. So that's all the good things. That's all the things I've learned so far in the 2 years. Now the next 2 years, let's talk about what's going on in the next few years and what I want to learn, what I need to implement, and what I've started implementing. So the first one is focus. I'm a little bit of a scatty brain anyway, like I mentioned with the TikToks. That is a struggle for me, trying not to get fixated on stuff like that, because my brain goes there and it will stay there. And then I feel fried, and that can really mess up a whole day. If I get scrolling, that's it, that's game over on the day. That sounds ridiculous, but that is true. What I need to do is start eliminating the distractions, which I have done. Like I said, I deleted the apps. I'm struggling with the YouTube app because obviously I have a YouTube channel and I need to upload my videos off my phone. So I haven't uninstalled the YouTube app, which is still a little bit of a pitfall for me, because sometimes I find myself finding the short videos and I'm scrolling and I'm trying to move away from it. So that might be the next step, is deleting the YouTube app and then just install it when I want to make a YouTube video. But yeah, for the most part, I've got rid of most distractions on my phone now. So that is one really good benefit for me. I haven't got Facebook, haven't got Instagram, haven't got TikTok, or any of the other ones. I think that's all of them. All I've got is YouTube on my phone that is for personal use, and Snapchat, but that's only because I like the message my mates on there. That is it, and that is very rare. So I'm doing really well on that. The other one I need to do is start planning my day and getting a little bit more ahead of the curve. So at the minute, I finish my first job of the day, which is the cleaning at the college, and then I go home and make breakfast. If I can make breakfast and take it with me to the college, it means I don't have to go back home again, which means I won't get distracted watching YouTube videos, which I sometimes do. When I eat my breakfast, I put a YouTube video on, and then all of a sudden I want to watch another one, and then all of a sudden I haven't got time to do things. So yeah, that's the next step really, is getting ahead of that. Start meal prepping lunch and breakfast for the day before for the day after. That'll be a great help for me, and then we'll be winning. Number two is number two on the list of things I want to get better at is budgeting and sort of accounting. Yeah, not really accounting. Accounting's a bit of a strong word, but budgeting, how I'm spending my business's money. So not my personal money, business's money. So obviously I've got 3 streams of income for the business, sorry, 4. Vinted, eBay, which I sort of see as 1. And then I've got the shop income and YouTube, which YouTube goes straight into my personal account, so not really that one. So basically Vinted and eBay, and then the Vinted, eBay, and the shop. The shop income is from the sales, obviously, from the shop, and it goes onto a card reader, SumUp, and that goes into an app that's a bank account on its own. So it is already separated for me. But one thing I did start doing was just when I needed money for eBay stock, I would transfer over from my shop sales, my SumUp account, onto my business account where I would spend on Vinted, which is all well and good. But the problem with that is when I need to restock the shop, I haven't got any money available to go and do so. So what have I started doing? So when I get a sale on the SumUp machine, I'll leave it on the SumUp account. That way all the money doesn't get mixed up, and I sort of use that as a savings account ready to go and source my stock for the shop. So that's one thing I started doing. I started budgeting, started splitting my money up a little bit better, and with saving pots on my Monzo account, which is my business account. I'll pop it up on screen. What I mean by that, the savings pots are really great. Like I've got a rent one, I've got a Friday payout, which goes into my personal account while I'm paying myself. What else have I got? A tax one, and I've also got a wholesale one, which is the business for the shop stock. I've got a saving pot for that as well. So that really is helping me at the minute, just try and split that money up before I even touch it. That way it doesn't get muddled up and I end up shortchanged in one of the areas, which has happened before on every side. With the eBay side, I've been shortchanged when I've been spending on shop stuff, and it all gets muddled up. So I'm trying to really discipline myself to split that money up so it doesn't get muddled up. Number 3 is a little bit of a personal one in the sense that it is to do with me and my mindset. So the third one is self-belief. I really think I do struggle with this. I've gotten a lot better at it, and I do start believing in myself a lot more. But I have got a bit of a scarcity mindset and a little bit of a little bit of a barrier there where I think, I don't know if I'm good enough to get there. I don't know if this, I don't know if I'm that. But yeah, and it is tricky, and I do fight it a lot of the time. And some days I'm better than others. Some days I believe in myself more than others, and some days I struggle with it, which is, I think, is pretty normal, especially for a younger person. But what I do is to try and fight this is just look back at previous wins. So I made a lot of videos on this before, but where I think, look how far I've come sort of videos and growth videos that really do help me sort of put things into perspective and think, right, like in this video, I'd mentioned that my business is sort of 3x since last year, which if you look at it on paper, that's great. And I need to start looking at that more often and start really taking note of that and going, right, if you can do it in a year last year, why can't you do that again? There's no different, it's just bigger numbers now, which is something I need to start drilling into myself. And sometimes I feel like I purposely, I don't want to say sabotage, but I purposely don't do the work because I'm like, there's a block there and I need to stop it because it's costing me a lot of money. So that is something I'm working on. Yeah, and I'm really trying to just get over that, and I think it will come with time. But yeah, just trying to make myself realize that I'm worth more and I'm able to do more, and I'm actually quite good at what I do. That is the struggle at the minute. It sounds ridiculous because when I say it sounds so ridiculous because I know how far I've come in the last year or so, last 2 years. My business is completely different than it was 2 years ago. It's astonishing, but like ridiculously different. Like one of my sales today, I've got 24 sales going out today, which is nuts. If you told me that 2 years ago, that you've got 24 sales going out and the average sale price is like 24 quid with £10 profit per item, I would have looked at you crook-eyed. I would have been like, what are you even talking about? That is not my business. Mental. And that's just a start. I want to keep growing it, but yeah, we'll get there. Another way I'm starting to do it is just it's sort of through like prayer, not prayer in a, well, I suppose it is a religious sense, but trying to give myself more time to think. Because I was watching a podcast with Modern Wisdom, it's called Chris Williams, and he got a chap on, like a cowboy guy. I'll pop it up on screen, and he was just talking about how the modern person, just nowadays, we just have so much noise in our heads with YouTube videos and, like I say, in the TikToks and the news and all of this stuff that you don't actually, and the radio in the car, and you don't get any time to just go, wait, let me sit back, let me just think what I actually want to think and what I want, because you're always so busy in your own head. But I'm trying to just give myself a little bit of time every day in just silence and just think, right, just have a little think. Don't know what about, just have a little think. And it is helping quite a bit. Just iron out my thoughts a little bit in a prayer sort of sense, because I think that is a good way of doing it, is just have a little back and forth with, if you want to call it a higher power, fine. If you want to call it your own thoughts, that's fine. Whatever you want to put it to. But it is nice just to try and have a conversation in your own head in silence, instead of all the time having this background noise of podcasts and YouTube videos and music and the radio and the news, and all the time it does get a bit busy. So one thing I'm trying to do is just quieten down a little bit every day. Give yourself, even if it's 5 minutes, just a little bit of peace and quiet. Another bonus one, just to bring the mood back up, is I want to start being the person that keeps promises to themselves. I'm a person that I would never make a promise to someone I love and then not keep that promise, but I do it to myself all the time. So I'd never go up to my partner and go, oh, I promise you I'll do this thing, and then not do it. I would never dream of doing that. Yet I do it to myself every day. I promised myself this morning I'd go to the gym this evening. Now, if I break that promise, it's not as severe as if I make a promise to my partner, but it should be. It should feel that severe to me, breaking a promise to myself. And for some reason, we do it every day. I'm sure you guys are the same. You make a promise, I'm not going to have chocolate when I watch dinner this evening, and then you do. That is such a bad habit to get into, because in the end, you lose your self-trust, which I think is the self-belief problem. Because in the summer, when I was really working hard with my training and I was making those promises to myself that I would eat good and train twice a day, I felt great. My self-belief was great. I believed I could take the business where I wanted to. I believed I was going to get in really good shape, which I did. Lost 12 kilos, 15 kilos. But it's just that slow decay of that self-belief, I believe, comes from this not keeping promises to yourself. So that's one thing I'm trying to do, is keep your promise. No matter how small it is. Maybe your promise is to, every day when you wake up, you're going to wash your face properly and you're going to brush your teeth. Maybe that's your pitfall, and that's the promise you're going to make to yourself. Keep it. I don't care how much resistance is there. If that's what promise you've made to yourself, make sure you keep it, because I do believe, no matter how small it is, that is where the self-belief comes from. So yeah, that is a massive thing for me, is just trying to make a promise. Try not to make too big of a promise, but try and keep the ones you do make to yourself, because I think that is just as important as keeping a promise to a spouse or whoever you love. I think that is how important the promises to ourselves is. Anyway, that's enough blabbering for one day. If you did enjoy this video, if you got something from this video, if you think I'm full of shit, whatever you got from this video, like it, comment, I'm full of shit, if that's what you believe. But I do appreciate it if you did make it this far. You're a legend. I hope you can take something from this video. I know these videos help me take something from it, even if it is from my own head. Like I say, just talking it out really does help. So yeah, I appreciate you coming along for the journey. If you didn't like it. If you want to comment, I'm an idiot, comment that down below. I will like it. I'll probably comment back, reply, say thank you very much. So you'll get a nice comment and reply. So don't worry about that. Subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.